Well, go on, people. What are you saying? This is I, Diligent Fingers. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. I'm in a bit of a weird, not even a bit, I need to stop saying a bit because it's a very odd place that I keep finding myself in. And not really. Because it's like last week I was like dead thankful for things. And I am still thankful for things. But last week I was dead thankful for, getting kind of back out there with the one in the woods and a couple of events that I'd been able to perform at and stuff. But I wasn't being entirely truthful when it came to the one in the woods and Manchester Carnival and all that kind of stuff. And that it was good. It was good for me to actually get out and things. But it took a lot for me to do that. It took a lot for me to actually, especially Manchester Carnival, it really did take a lot for me to actually like get back out there. A lot of anxiety. And at the time I had no idea where it had come from at all. No idea, Looking back, it was because of the grief. I didn't want to go there, and even though when I did, it ended up happening anyway, but I didn't want to go there and have to keep talking about, the fact that my mum's passed and all this kind of stuff. But it is what it is when it comes to these kind of things. And as much as I was able to get on stage, do you know what I mean? And that I think it was only one other person that I'd like talked to about it, where I was just like, my confidence has gone. I got on that stage, I did a little bit and that, but oh no, all my confidence had disappeared. And it just felt like I was just going through the motions rather than actually enjoying Manchester Carnival, being out in the sun, being around people that I hadn't seen for what seemed like ages. I did the hour. I must have been there, 15, 20 minutes? And then I went home. Spoke to a couple of people. And then I went home and just spent the rest of my time on my own at home. And then from there, the week has just gone completely downhill. Wow. I was supposed to bring back the forward motion show on a more regular basis, but then it turns out there was problems with my computer and that couldn't figure it out for time. I thought it was like the graphics card, and then turns out that it wasn't that. It was something to do with an update. Turns out that it is that, but it's something else. There's just so many things, and it's sorted now. It's all sorted. But today is Sunday, the day that I'm recording this, and also the day that I was supposed to do the journey through my mum's record collection. I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. The depression of what had happened the weekend before, I think it really just got to me. And then the underlying or overbearing feeling of, oh, well, you can't let this get you down. You can't let this stop you in your tracks. You've got to keep going. You've got to keep pushing forward. And that just seems to be the hardest thing to do at the moment. Ridiculously hard. Ooh, excuse me. Ridiculously hard. Because it is true. It is true that is what you've got to do. You've got to find some way of moving forward. And there is the age old saying, it's easier said than done. And it's funny, I used to like snap back at sayings like that. It's easier said than done. Yeah, but it still needs to be done though. I just didn't think it'd be this hard. Which is understandable because I didn't think I would be dealing with this kind of thing. Not so soon, at least, anyway. Grief is such a complex thing. It's another side of mental health that I think admittedly seems to just get glossed over. I don't know why Kanye West came into my head for some reason, but obviously he's not been the same since his mum passed. And it's really hard to really imagine being able to get back to the way that I was now that mine's passed. I find myself comparing myself a lot more to other people, what they've got, what I haven't got. I find myself angry, which is always a common denominator with me. I'm thankful that I'm able to spot it and, not instantly react. But at the same time, it's still there. It's always there. Not to have that mad sort of Hulk connection and stuff, like I'm always angry. Like, I'm not always angry, but it's always brimming. It's hard not to feel like now I've it's hard not to feel like now I've lost my mum, that the moral cap that I had on my anger is no longer there. I find myself asking these questions like, what reason do I have to care now? When the main thing that I've always cared about is no longer here. And I think what's ended up making things worse, and this is why I didn't really want to go. I've got a problem with like sort of public spaces and that, and people that know me, and knowing that at some point the whole thing with my mum is going to get brought up. But when it has, recently, especially leading up to the funeral, when it did get brought up from the people that didn't really know my mum too well, or know what she was going through. It was that thing, oh well, she had a good life. It was cut short, but she had a good life. She got nearly 60 years, and my mum didn't have a good life, man. There were happy times, yes, most definitely. But my mum didn't have a good life. And that's what makes me so angry. That there wasn't a turning point. There wasn't a point where things turned around before. She didn't get a chance to actually start truly enjoying her life. She'd sacrificed so much for me, for her kids. I mean, there wasn't ever a point where things could turn around and, she could live her life for herself rather than feeling she has to make up for so many things that were completely out of her control. So it's been a hard week this week, man. I'm gonna have a lot more hard weeks, which is just disheartening. It was easier before, when it was just my own mental health, do you know what I mean, that I had to focus on, I was getting to grips with, understanding how my mind works and how all of these mental health issues are really starting, how they're impacting me, and how they have been impacting me. Understanding these things so I can move forward. But this is a completely different kettle of fish. Nothing's the same. It's incredibly hard to just carry on as if nothing's changed. Or even try and pretend as if I can carry on as if nothing's changed. There's so many things left unsaid. So many things that she didn't get to see. It's like the knock-on effect is like I was saying before, like I find myself comparing myself to other people and what they have and what I don't have. It's like now that my mum's gone, it's like, all the goals that I wanted to reach, all the successes that I wanted to, achieve, and that, with not having any kids, not having a partner at the moment, do you know what I mean? It feels like I've not really got anyone or anything to kind of live for. I didn't think I'd feel like this. I didn't think, And all the things that I would say to other people, or the common things that are normally said, oh, you've got to find something for yourself now, like you've got to do it for her memory, and you know, this, that, and the third. They just don't. They just don't feel right. Now, I know it's the grief talking. I definitely know it's the grief talking. Doesn't mean it's not true though. Doesn't mean I don't feel how I feel. And it's such a contrast to like everything that I've learned in therapy, in counselling, you know, focusing on the present, bring yourself back into the present. But yeah, at this moment in time, everyone's telling me to focus on the future. There was parts of that in counselling and therapy as well. Focus on the life that I could have. Focus on the life that I can create. But I can't look that far ahead right now because I am so stuck in the present. I am so stuck in the fact that I'm never going to be able to speak to my mum again. I'm never going to hear her laugh. I'm never going to hear her shout at me. I'm never going to hear her. We're not going to be able to have our reasonings, our debates, our conversations, our jokes with each other. Those periods of growth. I know it's not just me. I've got 2 younger brothers and 2 younger sisters that are going through this as well. And, you know, in that sense, you know, you could say that, you know, they're the reason that I should stay alive. And you'd be right. You are right. It just hurts that right now that just doesn't feel like it's enough. And don't worry, this isn't like an admission of me about to do something. I'm not going to do anything stupid. I'm not going to do anything stupid. I'm not going to harm myself in any way anymore that I am harming myself mentally, at least anyway. Trying to hold back waves of blaming myself and regret and things like that. You know, I'm already harming myself in those ways by taking on these things that I know I've got no control over. There's nothing I could have done. But these feelings just won't go away. And rather than being able to carry on, I'm stuck with these feelings. I feel like I've gone through, you know, 3 stages of grief already, you know. The shock, the denial, definitely in the anger stage. Don't think I'm anywhere near acceptance yet, but I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer every day. I don't want to accept it. I don't want to accept this at all. This isn't something that I'm going to just willingly accept, is it? Losing someone important to you like that. But I'm getting there. It's just a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, and a lot harder than society makes out, or it's just incredibly hard. Incredibly hard. Little things of, little pockets of positivity have been happening. And that, one step closer to having proper official merch that is going to stay up for people to purchase. And we'll be a month away from the next Spinal Records release. Plus there's some releases on other labels that are getting closer to, being finalized and having a date set and stuff. And hopefully tomorrow, which will be today, the day that you're watching this, Monday night, Forward Motion will be back. Start a fresh week with everything set and hopefully everything going according to plan. Try and get these things back on track. Try and get back into some consistency, routine, all that good stuff. So yeah, hopefully next week's vlog will be a lot more cheerful, shall we say. If you've been dealing with the loss of a parent or someone incredibly important to you, how did you deal with the grief? What were some ways that, helped you to get past what we all go through? Definitely, I'm not a unique case. We all go through these periods and stages of grief. But, if you could let me know in the comments, not just for myself, maybe for other people as well, might help them. Because a lot of people have been dealing with a lot of grief recently, man. In the last couple of years, there's been a lot of loss. How did you guys deal with it? What were the things that helped you? Maybe I can incorporate them into my thing. But yeah, with that, thank you very much for watching and listening. Hope you have an amazing day, an amazing start to the week. Take it easy. Take care of yourself, because good mental health is wealth. Trust me. And as always, blessings to you all.